We've been taught that glowing up means changing everything about how you look. But the truth is, your glow starts the minute your nervous system feels safe. That's where the real shift happens. In today's video, we're gonna get into how glow-ups can be rooted in embodiment, self-respect, psychology, and not changing everything about your physical appearance or who you are as a person. If you're new here, my name is Brielle, and I have spent years in the mental health field as a licensed therapist. And this channel is really just my way of bringing lightness and fun back into the healing process and creating community so that we can co-regulate together. So without further ado, let's get into it. To start off, we're going to talk about why feeling safe is really true confidence. There's a lot of debate about what confidence is and how to get there. And in my opinion, being confident is being regulated. I said what I said. Confidence does not come from overcompensating or pretending. It comes from feeling safe and safety in your body. Chronic stress, dysregulation, and overthinking can all energetically and literally block your glow. And this is not about shaming yourself at all. It's okay if you're in that place. You can move forward from that place and you can feel differently. It's never too late to change the baseline for your nervous system and how your nervous system adapts. And this is just a little message from me to you. You are safe to be seen now. I see you and I love you. And I want you to just pause for a second and really feel into that. Feel into what I just said. Is this something that you've ever said to yourself? Is this something that you feel? Is this something that feels true for you or untrue for you? Whether it feels true or untrue for you, I just want to challenge you to affirm this to yourself every single day in the mirror. That's your homework for this video, okay? You're going to commit to affirming to yourself every single day that you are safe with you, that you have your own back, and you are always going to see you for you and truly see you for you, and you're gonna have your own back. Building that habit, building that relationship with yourself might feel honestly super awkward at first, super uncomfortable. It might even bring up some frustration and some anger, which is a normal trauma response. But if you are committed to the life of having your own back, you will push through that. On the other side of that discomfort is a relationship that's unlike any other, and that's a relationship with yourself, a true supportive, loving relationship with yourself. Now we're going to talk about how boundaries contribute to your glow. This is something that I want you to really ruminate on what I'm about to say, and that's only love that honors me gets access to me. Throughout this week, throughout this weekend, I just want you to think about that sentiment and think if that is reflected in your life. Do you feel like you're holding on to relationships that do not honor you, or pouring into relationships that do not honor you? And why? I want you to think about why you pour into those specific relationships and maybe what's underneath that. Is it that you don't feel worthy of better relationships? Is it that you're scared what would happen if you didn't have those relationships in your life? Either way, working on building safety in your body and in your nervous system will help you move through those blocks. On top of boundaries in your relationships, just having energetic boundaries in any room that you walk into does contribute to your glow up. I'm a firm believer that the less you say, the more what you say matters. And I know I am a certified yapper, okay? I do love to talk, but I think just even by thinking about that sentiment, thinking about, is what I'm about to say going to add to the conversation, going to add value to these people's lives or the room or the environment or not, it does filter how you express yourself. And I'm not saying you need to be quiet. I'm not saying you need to be less. No, none of that. This is not about dampening yourself. This is not about dimming your light. Okay, it's the complete opposite of that. It's about not over-explaining yourself, not over-apologizing. It's about being regulated so that what you do say and what gets expressed through you is a true reflection of who you are. And being emotionally regulated in a social setting is magnetic. Standing in your own energy and your own power, not over-explaining yourself, understanding that you as you are safe wherever you go because you have your own back, that is magnetic. Okay, this next one may bring up a little bit of an initial negative reaction in you, and that is letting go to level up. Something that I think about all the time is what happens if you don't let go of something that's not meant for you. You get dragged along with it, right? So it's let go or be dragged. You cannot embody your true glow if you're gripping onto the past. So I think it's just good to take an inventory in your life of what are you gripping onto too tightly. I honestly feel like I look, feel, and act so differently now than I did 6 months, a year ago. And so much of that is that I let go of things that were not meant for me, and I let go of stressing about trying to force my way to finding what was right for me, and I started just trusting and allowing and building that safety and that regulation in my body. Something we do talk about is letting go of the people who don't like us or the people who maybe aren't our people. Something that's less talked about is letting go of all the versions of us that we've had to be to please the people who do like us. And I just want you to sit with that, because this is a powerful thing to realize. And really what I mean by this is normalizing disappointing people by evolving. Someone may love one version of you and get attached to that one version of you as the version that they love, but you don't exist to be digestible to people. We are meant to evolve, and with that, we're meant to evolve past certain relationships or situations. And that doesn't make those situations or those people behind you or less than you by any means, because that person is evolving too, right? And maybe you're just evolving in different directions, and that's okay. It doesn't make one better than the other. But the people who are meant to stay in your life, they will appreciate and love every single version of you. They will love that you're evolving. They will appreciate what each new version of you has to bring to the table, and they won't want you to go backwards. As an example, I was very well liked when I was younger because I was a mega people pleaser. I didn't ever want to rock the boat. I didn't want to stand up for myself. I didn't have very good boundaries. And people loved the version of me that didn't have boundaries or standards for how I wanted to be treated. I attracted a lot of friendships that treated me very poorly because I let them. And that's just as much my fault as it was theirs. So I've lost a lot of people, disappointed a lot of people by realizing that I wanted differently for myself and my relationships, and I've had to make that okay. And I've had to make that actually a positive thing, because I'm absolutely the most evolved version of myself that I've ever been, and I definitely don't have as many friends. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow for some people. But you're just not meant to be digestible for everybody. You're meant to be the most you can be. Okay, this next point is all about how soft structure creates sustainable glow. And what I mean by that is, I think most people thrive on some kind of structure, but it doesn't have to be as intense or rigid or over the top as a lot of these, glow up videos or get your life together content out there kind of makes it seem like it has to be. I do think you need to have guideposts and values that direct your action. Glow-ups are rooted in micro choices that are made with self-respect. I think self-respect needs a little bit of a rebrand, because even when I think self-respect, this is coming from the religious programming that I grew up with, my mind sometimes immediately goes to modesty and making yourself digestible and making choices that are self-sacrificing for the good of the group, or however you want to put it. That is not at all what I mean by self-respect. My version of self-respect is not compromising your true needs, your authenticity, not compromising your time or money or energy for things that don't feel like they're in your highest good. That's what self-respect means to me. So are the micro choices that I'm making throughout my day honoring my time, money, energy, authenticity, and do they reflect what I truly need or want? And I truly believe simplicity in your routines helps regulate your nervous system and free up energy for other things. So if you can create sort of a template for yourself for your everyday rituals and routines that do reflect how you want to honor yourself and value yourself, that is like half the battle with nervous system regulation. So for me, on a very basic level, thinking about outfit formulas, easy meals, simplicity in my skincare routine, locking down a very few key things that help me feel regulated in my morning and night routines. To me, it's sort of about saving energy in certain areas so that you have more energy to expend in other areas. And in those areas where you streamline things for yourself, making sure those rituals and routines are rooted in what you authentically need, want, and like. So just to give a few kind of real life examples of what I mean by this, because it can kind of feel like this jumbled idea. So for example, a few areas that I like to take the thinking out of and I like to simplify are with my outfit formulas, my meals, my skincare and body care routines. These are all things I care about and that reflect my personality and what I like. But I like to pare these things down so that I don't give that much energy to them throughout the day. So I have my meals I like, I have my outfit formulas I like. I have a very pared down skincare routine and body care routine. I don't like to spend a lot of time on those things, but I want to do them with intention in a way that still honors me. And then there's the areas of my day that I'm okay spending more time and energy on, and I like to play around with a little bit more. Like I like to have a pared down skincare routine, but when it comes to my skincare devices, I love to spend time doing those things and it's very relaxing for me. I'm okay giving more energy to that. And with my makeup routine, that's definitely a time of day where I self-regulate. I use my getting ready for the day time as a way to really slow down, really as a way to spend that one-on-one time with myself in a very drawn out way. So I do like to take my time with that. So that's an area where I'm okay spending more time and energy and I don't need that to be as streamlined. So I think a lot of it is just figuring out what maybe feels like more of a chore to you that you can streamline to honor your time and energy, but still put intention into it. And then what in your day do you want to put a little more time and energy to, and you don't need to streamline as much. So the two parts of creating that structure are simplicity and streamlining your routines and all the micro choices that make up your days that are done with self-respect and honoring yourself. Okay, now this last one is so important, and I know this is different from how a lot of other people feel, but this is how I feel, and this is what I've seen work in my life and in the lives of those around me, and that's that your glow comes from your energy, not your effort. And of course, there's so much nuance here. I am not saying you don't need to put effort into anything, okay? Don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that you don't need to feel like you need to be checking off a to-do list of 100 different things every day and running around trying to do more to become more for a glow up. You don't need to do more. You just need to be here. Having presence and intention helps direct your energy so much more efficiently and authentically. Glowing up is really an inside job. It's tending to and having intention with your aura, your voice, your choices. And when you're focused on regulation first, you start to magnetize rather than chase. I remember my mom telling me a long time ago, back when I was single in my early 20s, I was discouraged about dating and finding love, and she told me that the only way to find real, true, authentic love in any area of your life is to not lose your center. Now, let me elaborate. She kind of equated it to being on a tightrope of sorts. Now, let's say the tightrope is life. If you're on this tightrope of life and you're reaching over here for love and approval, or reaching over here for attention, or really seeking anything outside of yourself, that is throwing you off your center, throwing you off balance. Your center of regulation, of control, of confidence is outside of yourself and you're off balance. If you bring that center back to yourself, if you understand that you have to tend to your internal sense of love and confidence and approval first, you can walk that tightrope with no problems and the right things will come to you. That stuck with me so much, and it's something that I think about all the time in my life, just in any area. If I feel like my center is outside of myself and I'm off balance, I always think about what can I do to bring that center back to me so I can regulate, express myself from a regulated, centered place. So to bring it all the way back around, a glow up does not require perfection ever. It just requires presence. You're never behind. You're just learning to glow at a pace that your body can hold, and that's a beautiful thing. Real beauty is a strong center, warmth, a regulated nervous system, and recognizing that truly nothing outside of yourself is going to make you beautiful if you don't find that in here first. I'd love to hear in the comments how you guys feel about this glow up culture that we live in, the ways that you've maybe put pressure on yourself or taken pressure off of yourself and created your own relationship to a glow up, and just your experience with all of this. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate your time and your energy more than you know. And I hope today we could regulate a little bit together. I'd love to see you in the future if you like this video. So please like and subscribe if you had a good time with me today, or if you learned something, and have a beautiful day.